Basic Conditions of Employment Act, you are required to know the nature of the Basic Conditions of Employment Act and also the aims and the purpose of the Basic Conditions of Employment Act. So what are the nature of the Basic Condition of Employment Act? Firstly, it ensures that the right to fair labour practices are put into effect. It protects workers from violation of their human rights as guaranteed by the Constitution, and the Act applies to all employers and employees. There are, however, certain exclusions, and it's important to note that the Basic Conditions of Employment Act does not apply to the following workers: members of the National Defence Force, members of the National Intelligence, members of the South African Secret Service, and anybody working for a charity as a volunteer. They are not affected by the Basic Conditions of Employment Act. They're not affected, but they are also not protected by the Basic Conditions of Employment Act. Other than that, all employees and all employers are affected by the Basic Conditions of Employment Act. The aims and purpose of the Basic Conditions of Employment Act, very important, it regulates basic conditions of employment of all employers and employees. So it sets a minimum standard of what are the conditions that are relevant to employees and employers within the business or within an organization. It sets minimum standards for employment contracts, and it creates a framework for acceptable employment practices. Now that's important if you want harmony within an organization, that there is a framework for acceptable employment practices that businesses, employers and employees can work towards.